Testing, testing. I think I'm live. Can't be too sure though. Looks like we've got a nice hearty delay on the camera if I am live. Give me some feedback in the chat if you can see me. This is really bad. I need a new computer. I know I need a new computer. The hardware is seriously lacking. I shouldn't be going live with this little laptop, but you know, here we are. Oh, it's working. Okay. Game Time Junkie 900 says it's working now. Scoot the Harbor. I don't know if you guys know who Scoot the Harbor is. Lives down in Gig Harbor. Owns a Nami. I did a video with him, but he's in the chat. What's going on? This is an embarrassing amount of delay on my part. I really can't tell what you guys are seeing, so I'm just going to go live. I wish I had a live preview. The audio and video are not synced. Oh, that's terrible. I tried my best to fix that. It's definitely not my internet. I've got blazing fast internet. I think it's this laptop. The hardware in this laptop is not up to snuff. I need a new laptop really bad. But if anyone wants to trade a scooter for a gaming laptop, I'm all ears and eyes. Can anyone in the chat maybe give me some feedback? How bad is the audio-video lag going on right now? I really would like to know. Because I'm not able to watch it in real time. Well, maybe I could on my phone. But, yeah, I can't. On the computer, I've got like a 15-second lag. So if it's that bad for you, it has a split second of delay. Game Time Junkie says audio has a split second of delay. The important here is you're in stream. I guess that's very true. I'm here. Ta-da! Lag 3 out of 10. Bad. About 1 to 2 seconds. Oh my lord. 2-second lag? That's terrible. Was it like that last time? Is there anybody in the chat who's here now who saw this the last stream? Was it just this bad? I lowered my quality to 720p, and I lowered the bitrate of the live stream. Two-second lag. Oh my goodness, guys. Should I do the unboxing, or should I wait a couple days till I can get a new computer? Like, I can make it happen if we need to do a live stream for this. Which we do. I feel like we really do. We've got a mystery box. I've got a cool gadget I want to tell you guys about, but I can't do it if we're lagging 2-3 seconds behind. Game Time Junkie says, do the unboxing. Dabbed Out says, I've seen worse. It's closer to 1 second. It's good enough now. Go for it, says Bobby Hayes. Hey, welcome back. Trade you my Alienware for your 72-volt scooter. No. I'm looking to trade, I think, the Ultron X3 that I have, which is not the only scooter I have that is not in the house right now. We've got a full house today. This is just, like, every gadget I own plus more is in here. It looks like you're in a foreign film with voiceovers, says Theo Frias. Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm going to do the unboxing right now. I'm sorry that it's not live or synced up properly. This is just the way it goes, I guess, for now. I will make an effort to make live streams better in the future, but I think this is as good as I can do for now. I know there's a setting I can do in OBS Studio, and I think I can either lag the video or lag the audio so they sync up. But there's no way to actually do that without actually going live with the new settings. So I thought I changed the settings. Anyway, I'm going to get started with the unboxing now. This mystery box, I've been waiting for it for a long time, like 25 days. Nismo, come here. You going to help me unbox? Ugh. Okay, we have an assistant. He's going to help me unbox this thing. Sniff it out first, maybe? Nope. What about this one? This is Gatsby. Maybe he'll help me unbox. He likes boxes. Nope. Okay, well, it's up to me then. Got some questions in the chat. I'm going to try my best to answer those later, but for now, we're going to be unboxing Le Box. So, this is a product from Bob Yan, the former InMotion CEO. He branched off from InMotion and started his own company called PidZoom, P-I-D-Z-O-O-M. And we've got some cool products. He has like 4 or 5 products on the site, and we have 2 of them, or 3 of them in here today, I think. Not sure though. Can never be sure till we open the box. Game Time Junkie says, do you have the video encoder set to hardware? I have the video encoder. There is no hardware. So it's on, I think it's X264 is what the name of the encoder was. Anyway, the box. Opening, opening, opening. Ta-da! Okay, so a little piece of foam on top here, piece of foam here. Yes! Our 2 goodies. There's a 3rd goodie in there, but I'm going to save that for a little bit later. So, the first goodie is called a TPMS. This is a tire pressure monitoring system. The worst thing in the world is when you're out on a ride and the tire goes flat. I've had a couple scooters, and I have one unicycle right now, the Sherman behind me, that's got the red pads on it. That thing has a slow leak, and every time I think the tire is pumped up, it turns out it's not, and I go out for a ride and it slowly becomes flat. But if you have something like this, you can, especially if you live in the city, these are very helpful. You can monitor the tire pressure in real time. Let's open this up and see how it's packed. Looks like we got a little manual on top here. In color. 1 tire pressure monitor. 2 tire pressure monitors. See how small these things are? You screw these onto the valve cap of your tire, just like, I don't know, look, you already have a valve cap on your cover. You take it off and you put this on, and it has 2 little monitors on the inside of here. They have pre-installed batteries that last for 1 year, I think he said. So after a year, you're going to have to buy a new one, which is kind of lame, but that's the way it is. I saw ones on AliExpress, and the reviews said they lasted for like 2 months. So these are definitely better. But you screw these onto the valve stem of your tire. And then, let's see what we got here. We got a little handlebar mount. Very nice. This just straps around your handlebars. You screw it and it cinches shut. Some adhesive stickies. This might be a little extra mount piece, or this is the mount for the actual monitor itself. Oop, don't drop that. A cable. I'm not sure what the cable's for. We'll have to see. Maybe it's for charging the actual display. Some tools right here. Oh, that comes with the tool. Is this what I think it is? No. Could it be? Alright, we've got a little tool. It's not for what I think it was for. I thought it was for tightening the actual monitor onto the tube. Not sure what this is for yet. We'll get there. Maybe it's for tightening on your handlebar mount? Oh, now I'm curious. And then we have this little gadget right here. This is the good stuff. Oh, so the charging cable was for charging the actual monitor itself. This thing mounts onto your handlebars, and it'll tell you the PSI of your tires in real time. Nice, pretty small too. It's heavy for the size. I wish we could get it set up today, but I have no idea how it works. It does come with a full color instruction manual though, in the box. So it's got a high pressure alarm if you accidentally pump your tires up too much. Tire pressure corresponding position. Oh, so you can have front and back or back and front. Low pressure / air leaking alarm. That's awesome. Before the tire pressure actually gets really low, you can see this thing is smart enough to know if it's leaking or not. I guess by the rate of decrease in the PSI. Has your units of pressure, the tire temperature, which can be very helpful if you're doing high-speed rides. Like, oh man, I was riding around my Cabo King GT Pro one time. I put on the PMT Street Slicks on it, and I was full sending it around the neighborhood, absolutely top speed, for probably 10 miles. And the rear motor actually got so hot that it blew out the PMT tire. That's my theory anyways, because I went to go touch it once the tire was completely flat and I almost crashed, and it was boiling hot. And thanks to my dad, if you're watching the stream, I had to have my dad come pick me up. But you can check your tire temperature using this thing. That's really cool. Sensor low power alarm, which I guess is what this charging cable is for. Power on-off button and units of temperature. You can read it in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Very cool. Let me check the... Sorry, I haven't been checking the chat here. Dabbed Out says, that's dope. Appropriate comment. Very appropriate for the username. Scoot the Harbor. It throws the wheel off balance. You'd think so. These things are really lightweight, though. They're like maybe a few grams heavier than the actual valve cover that you have on there right now. I don't think this would throw a tire out of balance. Could be wrong though. I haven't tested them. I'll do a full-length video on these things later. I don't want to say this name wrong, but it says Jack Cassandra 65. To me, it's spot on, and the time and audio volume level is perfect too, even casting from my Chromebook. Okay, so maybe the audio has synced up with the video. I don't know, but that's good news. Steve says, my Dualtron Victor is such a B to remove the valve cap and put anything else on besides the factory crappy valve cap. Something that might help you, it's not a regular thing, but it's helped me on a few scooters and a unicycle once too. If you deflate the tire all the way, and then you can actually pull the valve out of your rim a little bit more, and you can adjust it how you want it, and then inflate it. Sometimes it'll torque the valve in a different position than it was from the factory. I know a lot of these scooters, there's like very little clearance between the actual rim and the valve stem, but if you deflate the tire, move the valve stem with your hands, reinflate it, it'll like torque the valve stem in a different position, and then you'll probably be able to get these on. I think you could probably get these on if you just kind of reamed it on, but I don't know if that would damage the sensor at all because it's going to be vibrating up against your rim like that. Theo Frias says monitors the PSI of the tires. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. It monitors how much pressure you have in your tires. I guess it gives you high pressure warnings. Because if your rim heats up and you were already at full pressure before you started riding, and then you go riding around and your rim gets hot, it'll expand the air inside your tire and you could get a high pressure warning from these things. But yeah, it monitors the pressure in real time, and it has a slow leak warning too. If you have any leaks in the tire, or if you're out for a ride and you hit something minuscule or you pinch your tire against the rim, the little thingy, the display here, will give you a warning if you are leaking air out of your tire, which can be very useful to have. Because a lot of times if you get a flat tire on one of these things while you're riding, you're going to crash. You're going to have a bad time. Jack Cass Andra says, I'm trying to help you out on tech related to your perceived problem with your live session, but you won't look at my messages. I don't know where you're messaging me. I'm looking at the messages, I thought. Scoot the Harbor says, I've used them. Not good for tire balance. Well, we'll see, sir. We will see. I'm going to do a full-length video. What do you mean by tire balance? Does the scooter vibrate or something? Like, do they come off? I don't know what that really would look like when you're riding around. Also, they make little weights that you can put inside and on and around your tire to counterbalance if you need to. I've seen those, so maybe we'll have to use some of those with these things. Look at my posts with Orange J. I see your posts with the Orange J. Maybe you posted up here. Let me scroll back. The only post I see with the Orange J in the chat is that you said it was spot on. So, Dabbed Out says, I bought the Mantis GT Pro because of you. Ooh, very nice scooter. I actually haven't ridden the GT Pro Mantis, but I have the regular Mantis, the gold one, and took it on the beach, rode it all around. I think I got like 400 or 500 miles on it. That's no longer in my fleet, but that was a solid scooter. Nothing ever went wrong with it. I just had a friend that wanted to buy it off me. Noob Scoot says, with the time, your stream goes better. Oh, that's good. Are you going to review the awesome Gallop scooter? I don't have any plans to do that, but maybe in the future? I don't know. The way that I go about reviewing scooters is there are a lot of channels that will reach out to people asking, can I review your scooter? Can I review it? But I've never done, actually, that's not true. I've done that twice. I did that to Voro with the eMove Roadster, and they said no, basically. And then I reached out to Roadrunner Scooters last week and asked them if I could review the RX-7, because that scooter looks insane. I think it's 84 volt nominal and goes 70 miles per hour. It's got really close to the same specs as the eMove Roadster, but I think it weighs more. But yeah, the way I go about reviewing scooters is I just exist, and then companies watch my videos and they say, we've got a new scooter, do you want to review it? And I say, sure, send it on over. So I never really make plans to review scooters unless they've reached out to me and I'm just waiting for a tracking number or something. But if Awesome reaches out to me and they say, hey, do you want to review the Gallop? I will not say no. That's how I roll. I think these sensors are on... Bobby Hayes asked, do you know how much they're going to retail for? These are right now, you can buy them on the PidZoom website. It's PIDZOOM. Maybe check them out after the stream. And you can buy these sensors from them. I want to say they're like $80 for the setup for the actual display unit, and then you get 2 sensors in the box. So, you can buy them. I'm really curious what this little wrench thing is for. It comes with some nuts and bolts. They're really small. There's 3 of them. I'm guessing 2 plus a spare, but they look like this. Maybe they go on as a buffer over your valve stem and in between this thingy underneath. I'm not sure. I haven't read the instructions yet. I don't know how they go on. I'm going to do a full-length video on these things later, but I just wanted to unbox them in front of you guys and tell you what they are. Because it's fun to unbox things live on stream. If I could just get my computer working better. I need a better computer so bad. Noob Scoot says, dabbed out, I already own 4 scooters because of Ginger. No counting how many other YouTubers. Sorry guys. I know this is one of those hobbies where you get something and then you need the better one. And then 6 months later you see something cooler and newer and then you need that one. And then you end up with a freaking living room. Wait, wrong way. You end up with a living room full of scooters. It's bad. Yeah. It reminds me of when I was really into snowboarding. I had to have like the latest, next greatest thing. I know it's like that with drone people too, but I imagine there's endless hobbies that you can just get the better one. Let's see. Kem Lee says, how's your VSET 10 Plus? Would you recommend them for 2024? My VSET 10 Plus is right here. And I definitely would recommend it for 2024. They're actually really cheap now. I think you can get the 28 amp hour one for like $2,200. And they were close to $3,000 when they first came out. But it's a solid scooter. Nothing has gone wrong with it. I think I have about 500 miles on it now. And it's running strong. It's one of the few scooters I've never had anything go wrong with. I switched the tires to PMT Strawdale tires. I don't know if you can tell from here. But that's the only modification I've done to it. I know I said in my video that you should put the EXA Form 291R shock on it, but I never actually got around to doing that. I think I just bought them and then they're in a box somewhere over here. Let's see. Obargnilla says, hello, first time catching a live. Well, welcome to the live. This is how we roll. Should one wear a chest and back protector under or over a shirt heading out on my VSET 10 Plus after the live? You know, I ride in a group with about 50 or 60 riders, up to 200 on crazy days, in downtown Seattle. And there are a lot of people who do wear protective chest armor when they ride. I feel like it would have helped me in 2 crashes over the last 5 years. So I personally don't wear them. I've had bruised ribs before, though. I guess it's just up to personal preference. What's your risk tolerance, you know? They make some really nice ones. I know Liat makes some nice chest and back protectors. AJ Core TV, welcome to the stream. He says, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed the unboxing of the PidZoom tire pressure monitoring system. You can monitor the pressure in your tires. It detects high pressure for when your rim heats up and expands the air in the tire. It also detects slow leaks, and you can actually see the pressure of both tires in real time. It's a little handlebar mounted gizmo. Jack Cassandra 65 says, if I'm receiving a perfect feed, then it cannot be your live feed. It has to be how well those are connected to your feed or having problems receiving your feed without issues. It could also be the latency, though. I selected low latency, not ultra low, but low latency. There's a normal and high, I think, and that will sort of combine the audio and the video, and it increases the quality too, I've heard. But I don't know. I think I just need a new computer, because what I'm looking at is at least a 5-second delay off my screen. It makes it really confusing. I have to try not to look at that because it throws me off. Noob Scoot says the scooter I most hated was the Dual Grin Storm. I assume you mean Dualtron Storm? Then I get a few better options, but I keep the Storm because the range is still insane. That's true. The Dualtron Storm has insane range. It's got a very large battery. The motors are really whiny, though, and the geometry on most Dualtrons is kind of sketchy. It makes you want to speed wobble a lot. I don't have any Dualtrons in my fleet anymore for that very reason. I don't like the geometry. Maybe it's how tall or how big I am or my particular stance on the bars, but those scooters just feel like they want to wiggle. Like when you're accelerating and decelerating, it's just... Rob Stuff says, with tech improvements every year, what's your favorite scooter 2 years ago and what is it now? Does it change frequently? It does. It changes probably every 6 months. I think my favorite scooter right now is the eMove Roadster, but I don't have one, and I've never ridden one. I've just heard very detailed accounts of it. My favorite scooter now is the InMotion RS, because as much as I love off-roading, I haven't been able to do it a lot lately. It's just raining so much, everything's super muddy. So in that case, it would be the GTR, but since I'm riding a lot on the streets, it's the InMotion RS. It's got massive battery, very comfortable scooter. It has like all the features that I need. I think for me, it's just how comfortable it is. The deck is so long, so wide. You don't have to worry about crouch. Like, you can just stand on it however you want. It feels sort of like a yacht, like a land yacht. EE says, you got any handlebar mounted radar detectors? I don't, but I know I had one in my car. I don't know if they make them that small that you could put them on the handlebars of a scooter. In my experience, though, cops are very lenient on e-scooters, at least where I live here in Washington. I've ridden past lots of cops. I've talked to cops in person. I've had cops ask me, how fast does it go? Like, all the specs, and I tell them, but they're not too insanely crazy about pulling over electric scooters, here at least. And if you live in New York, it's a totally different story. And I know they're cracking down in LA now, too, which kind of stinks. Let's see, I'm going to get to the bottom of the chat here. Would you recommend the Dualtron Thunder, or is there better options? It's kind of overpriced, in my opinion. It's a good scooter, but again, you got the weird speed wobbly geometry on it. I personally would rather ride a Wolf King GT Pro, but yeah, I think there are better options for the price. Dualtron is sort of like the iPhone of scooters. It's really overpriced, and they spend a lot of money on marketing, or at least they used to. And there's a big clout following around them and people who swear by just Dualtrons, but I feel like we've come a long way in the scooter world since then. It was like that when they first came out, when electric scooters were first getting really powerful, and now not so much. So I think there are better options. AJ Core says, I can't afford $3,500 scooters yet. Yeah, well, no one can, really. You just kind of have to justify it somehow. I'm sorry if I'm skipping your message in the live stream. I'm going to get to the unboxings. We have 2 more things to unbox here. So let's do that. This little mystery box right here. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we get a little custom card from PidZoom. Look at that. That's what the logo looks like. PidZoom. It says, Dear Ginger, your choice in PidZoom warms our hearts. As one of our early adopters, your support means everything to us. We're deeply grateful for your trust and belief in our vision. At PidZoom, safety is the core of everything we do, and your encouragement fuels our dedication to creating PEV accessories that prioritize safety on the road and ensure secure charging practices. Your faith in us inspires us every step we take. Thank you for being part of our journey. Warmest regards, PidZoom team. That's handwritten. Wow. So yeah, early adopter here. It's a pretty new company. Like I said before, the guy who runs it is the former InMotion CEO. If you like the InMotion RS, he was the CEO of that company. So they know what they're doing. They're just getting started up. So this is the thing that I'm really excited about in the box here. This is a quick start guide. And this is something everybody should know about. So electric battery fires are real. They can happen for a lot of reasons. Most of the time it's from overcharging or using the wrong charger, or faulty battery cells. But this thing can help you detect that. They make really smart chargers. They're like $400. They have touch screens on them. They're insane. They go up to like 170 volts. A lot of scooters don't come with those. A lot of scooters will just come with that plastic brick charger. I'm sure if you own a scooter, you know what it is. And they're not smart at all. They have a little voltage cutoff that'll cut off the charging voltage when they get to a certain point. But even those can sometimes fail. And this thing right here is called a charger enhancer. And what it does is monitor the exact output and voltage of your charger going from your charger to your scooter. So you can see how fast it's charging, how many watt hours you're charging at, how many amps you're charging at, the voltage, the output and input voltage. And you can prevent battery fires by using this thing without having to spend $400 on a smart charger. Let's see, inside the box here, got a full color manual, very nice. Package contents includes the charger enhancer and the user manual. And I think you can DM them or send them a message and let them know what gadget you have before or when you order the thing, and they'll send you different adapters. So I've got a little baggie of adapters here, one for scooters and one for unicycles. But this thing right here, very nice. It says Charge Smart, PID Zoom. So you plug one end in on the input side, that's going from your charger into the charging, what is this thing called? Charge Smart, into your, it's called a battery enhancer. And then you have one end that plugs into here and goes into your scooter. And this will monitor the exact voltage and input and output. And one of the cool things about this is that you can actually set it to charge to a certain percentage. Like, I can't say voltages because every wheel is different and every unicycle is different with voltages, but let's use an example, a 60 volt scooter. Maximum charge voltage would be 67 volts, right? And you're not supposed to charge your scooter to 100% every time, especially if you're going to leave it sitting around. That's a great way to get battery degradation. You decrease your range, you decrease the life of your battery pack. I'm sure we all read it online. You're not supposed to charge it all the way, charge to 80%. So then you have to go out and buy a super smart charger that will charge your wheel to 80%, but not with this thing. I think this is like 80 bucks, 90 bucks? No, I don't know. Someone check that. I think it's 80 bucks. And you can set the charging percentage on this thing, and it will automatically cut off the charging from your charger to your scooter based on the voltage specs that you put into here. So you can set your 60 volt scooter to only charge to 64 volts or 65 volts. And then you'll never overcharge your battery. You never have to worry about battery fires. On top of that, if you start with a fully drained battery and then you plug it into the smart charger here, or the charger enhancer, excuse me, and then you charge your scooter up to full, this thing will tell you exactly how much energy was put into your battery. So you can tell if your battery's in a healthy state, or if maybe you got a dead cell group and it's not charging to full, or if it's just not accepting as much energy as it should. You can calculate that with this. This is a very cool little gadget I've been waiting on for like 20 days now. So thank you, PID Zoom, for one of these. Brand new company. Go check them out, pidzoom.com. And pick one up. Honestly, if you don't have a super smart charger that can monitor your voltage and you can set percentages on it by yourself, you can turn your crappy stock charger into a smart charger with this little gadget right here. It's not going to charge your scooter any faster, but it'll charge it much safer. All right, I'm going to check the chat now. Baheen says, what y'all ride? Oh, I don't know. That's up to the chat. I've got a whole living room full of gadgets. Julian Marad says, I just came back from an off-road session with my Wolf King GTR. What a scooter. I couldn't agree more, especially for off-roading. The GTR cannot be beat. That traction control, it's like a total game changer. You go off-roading with any other scooter and the front tires just peeling out left and right. It's no fun. Winter Infinite says $69. So it's not even 80 bucks, it's 70 bucks. Well, I guess 80 after tax, but yeah, these things are sweet. For $69, monitoring the safety of your charging inside your house is like this was a dream 2 years ago. Everyone was so scared about battery fires. I started the FireStack company, and I guess we don't need that anymore because you can monitor your charging. This little tiny box right here can keep your scooter in your house from catching on fire. And also, sir, get out of the window. What are you doing? Get out of there. We got an adventurous kitty in the window over here. Sir, Come here. You want to be a wolf warrior? Come here on the live. We're live right now. Here's my wolf warrior, Gatsby. All right. Electric Scooter Man says, my next scooter has to be tubeless and easy tire change, and I saw the InMotion RS, you can easy disconnect motor completely to remove the tire for easy access. That's very true. The InMotion RS has quick disconnect connectors for the motors, so you can unscrew the motor from the frame, disconnect the power from the battery, and then you can just pull the motor off, work on it on a bench. The Wolf King GTR has a split motor design though. You can take off some screws and you can actually pull the rim with the tire off of the motor, so you don't have to work on it while it's attached to the scooter also. Both very good designs. And scooters like the Mantis have a split rim design. And with the split rim design, you can just pull the motor in half and then you can slide the tire off the rim. You don't even have to worry about prying it off with your hands or with motorcycle tire levers. Changing tires on most scooters is a huge chore. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. No, he's plugging in. He's plugging in. Okay. We have a kitty now. I'm sorry if you can hear the purring in the microphone. He purrs really loud. Rob's Stuff says, how fast do you like to go on your scooter and feel safe doing it? As fast as they go, honestly. I love going fast. That's sort of my thing. The fastest scooter I think I have ever ridden is the Wolf King GTR. The acceleration on the GTR is brutal. It's absolutely smoked every other scooter in my fleet, any scooter I've ever tested. It got 0 to 60 in 18 seconds. Go buy the Wolf King GTR if you're an adrenaline junkie like me. Get it from Voro Motors. Use the code Ginger on Wheels. Get $50 off. Julian says, hello, Gatsby. Oh, you have fans, sir. You have a secondary kitty over here, too. If I could lift both kitties up at once, I would do that, but can't do that. Electric Scooter Man says, also the Nami Klima, too, I think. Klima? I don't know how to say that. But, yeah, I've seen that scooter. I've never ridden it. I don't have much feedback on Nami. I did ride Scoot the Harbor's Nami. I think he has the Burn E. Very nice scooters. They do make very nice scooters. They had a problem there for a while with the stems breaking, but I think that's been addressed now. Baheen says, had to take mine in to get the bolts impacted off. Pro tip, you can use a thing called PB Blaster. It's like a lube spray that you can spray on the bolts of your motor if you're taking it apart, or on any screw really. And it sinks into the threads and it will loosen up thread locker or rust or anything that's holding the screw on. Also, on most scooters, what I just do is hit it with a heat gun. If you get the bolt heated up enough, it will melt the thread locker off and then you can unscrew it. So that's one thing you can do also. But you got to be careful when you're using a heat gun not to melt any critical components. Like if you're doing a tire change and your bolts are stuck on, then you're going to want to make sure you don't melt the tire with your heat gun. What's it called again? A heat gun. Or PB Blaster is the other stuff. You can buy that at like Home Depot for $5. That works really well if it's stuck on just from being torqued weird or if there's any rust on it. But if there's actual red thread locker on it, then you're going to want to use a heat gun. Winter Infinite says PB Blaster penetrating lube. That is exactly what it is. Everyone listen to Winter Infinite. William Copeland, any word on Ryan have neck issues? Ryans they have a series of issues, a number of issues. The latest issue I heard about with Ryan, I haven't heard of any neck stem breaking issues, thankfully, but I heard that they were making people wait upwards of 2 years for pre-ordered scooters, promising a carbon fiber design. And then people were getting their scooters and realizing that they were actually cast aluminum that Ryan had actually shaved off the welds and then covered them with tape or paint to look carbon fiber. So they were not actually carbon fiber anymore. Why is your tongue blue, says Kelsey White. My tongue blue? Maybe mouthwash? I don't know. Okay, so I have one more gadget I want to unbox for you guys. I'm sorry, Gatsby. You have to get up now. Don't hurt me. Say goodbye to the nice people. Eat your food. Here, your food's right here. One more gadget that I've got from PidZoom. I guess we don't really get to unbox this. We're going to unzip this. Anyway, unzipping now. How do I unzip? Oh, unzips this way. This is something that I kind of already have, but not this nice. This is also from PidZoom. Comes in a little case, looks like this. Very nice. I'm going to pull it out of its little Velcro securing straps. Nice. So this bad boy right here is an ultra fast, ultra nice charger. And it comes with a 3D printed case around it to prevent damage too. That's nice. I have one of these already, but it's the power wire coming out the back is all janky. And it's also heavier and doesn't charge to as high of a voltage. I was hoping to unbox the InMotion V14 today on the live with this thing. But the InMotion V14 is stuck in transit due to a shipping exemption, whatever the heck that is. Whenever I check the tracking number, it doesn't show me the location anymore. It just says shipping exemption. So the V14 is coming soon, but not today or now. This is a hypercharger for scooters and unicycles that have high voltage. This thing goes up to 140 volts, I believe. Does it say on here anywhere? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 140 volts. I already have one over here. This is my old one. You can see the size difference. This one is much heavier, and this one charges up to, I want to say, 110 volts, 120 volts. So this is good for most scooters and unicycles, but you can see my power cable is like duct taped on. It's already coming off still. This thing is just old. It charges up to, I want to say like 15 amps. Yeah, 15 amps. I remember because I was charging a unicycle one time at a state park with one of these, and I went to 15.1 amps, and the charger just turned off and never turned back on again. So I think I blew a fuse in it or something, but these things are not cheap. They're like a couple $100. Actually, like $150. I don't know what this retails for. PidZoom gave this to me as a gift. Awesome, right? But I like the fact that it's got this little 3D printed cover on it. I'm not going to damage it as easily. It's got a LCD display on the front here that shows you your voltage, and it'll show you the amps output. The input and output is on the back, along with a little knob to adjust the voltage and a little knob to adjust the current. Oh, duh, it says the voltage right here. 80 to 170 volts. So this is really good for high voltage unicycles, and a couple of scooters I know could use this thing. But up to 17 amps, as in like enough to blow the breaker in your house. A lot of people on the group rides have these chargers now, and they show up, 2 or 3 people plug in, and we blow the circuit at whatever park we're at, and the outlets stop working, and we have to leave. So stock chargers are around usually 1, maybe 5 amps if you get a nice one. This thing will charge at 17 amps. It's insane. You have to get one of these little things. These little splitters. This plugs into the charger, and then these 2 things plug into both of your charge ports. And you have to plug both of these things in, or else you're going to melt some wires. But you can split the 17 amps up between 2 inputs. I'm so excited to use this thing, I can't even tell you guys. 170 volts, 17 amps. That is wild. It's not even that heavy. I thought this thing would be really heavy. But inside the charger box, I got some goodies. So here is obviously the power wire. Goes into the back of the charger so you can plug it into the wall. Very thick. Here is a little adapter extension piece, so I can plug one end into the back of the charger and then one end into an adapter of my choice. And then here are the different adapters that I've got. We got a splitter in here, so we can use both charge ports. And these things are really nice. PidZoom makes these, and Alien Rides also makes these. But you can tell them what scooter or unicycle or e-skate or one wheel you have, and they can make a little adapter like this. These are really cool. So when you order one of these chargers on PidZoom, you can tell them what you have. There's a little drop-down box, and you can like select what type of adapter you need, and they'll include these adapters for you. So you can plug in your unicycle or your scooter or whatever. I got a ton of these things, didn't I? There's a whole bag of them. I got 4-pin connectors. I got 5-pin connectors. I'm looking for the scooter connect. Oh, there's the scooter connectors. These are GX163, I believe. But yeah, I'm good to charge anything I need to charge, really. That's crazy. This is the charger, one charger to rule them all. It's so light, too, I can't get over it. Not as light as the plastic chargers, obviously, but the plastic ones don't go up to 17 amps. Okay, I'm going to check the chat here for a little bit. Didn't you make a GTR versus RS video? I didn't. I haven't yet. I should. I think when I did the RS ride videos, I mentioned the GTR a lot, and I kind of compare them as I'm riding, but I haven't made an official comparison video yet. Josh Posey says, hey, I have a Wolf King GT looking into a GTR, but the cheap battery pack was disappointing to hear about. Did you end up getting a new battery for your GTR? And if so, did it help sag/range? I got a new battery pack for my GTR because the first one was an RMA. The first one was, I think it had a dead cell in one of the groups. And I plugged it in after it died one day on a scooter ride, and it took a half an hour to charge up to full. The charger said it was full, so it wasn't accepting full charge. There was something wrong with it. I wasn't getting the range. The scooter was dying at like 30% on the display, so they did RMA me a new battery, and that's one of the great things about buying a scooter from Voro Motors is they did it for me. I just sent them a video of the issue that I had, and they go and deal with Cabo for you. And I know Cabo, to get a new battery from Cabo under the RMA would take probably a month and a half, but when Voro sees your video and they know that you have a faulty battery, they'll send you one out of their stockpile while they deal with the RMA for you. RMA stands for Return Manufacturer Authorization, I think. But anyway, yeah, I do have a new battery in my GTR. But it definitely, I don't know if it helped with range, but the new battery is insanely powerful. That was the one that I did the top speed test and acceleration testing on. These new split rim scooters like the Awesome Gallop, can they have tubeless tires, or does the split in the rim make that impossible? There are two types of split rim. I know that Voro has a split rim on the eMove Roadrunner Pro, the little e-bike behind me here, and that tire is split rim and tubeless, so you can have both, but most of the split rim designs, they only let you have tubes for the exact reason you mentioned. The air will leak out through the split in the rim. So, like on my Cabo Mantis, that was split rim, but Gatsby, come over here. What are you doing? The cats are getting all excited because I'm in the kitchen talking to myself. Just bought a Kook here in G3. Any tips? Says Edjar TJ. Ted TJ? I don't know how to pronounce that. Kook here in G3. My tips would be just make sure your tires are pumped up. I don't know. I've got no accessories or super secret hacks or tricks that you can do with that thing. Except buy a charger enhancer. Then make sure your battery doesn't sit at a full charge for a long time. And you can monitor the health of your battery. A lot of times your battery will go kaput and you won't notice until after the warranty has expired. So if you have a little charger enhancer thing here, you can tell as soon as it starts to crap the bed, and then you can get a new battery under warranty. Most scooter batteries have a 6-month warranty, I think, and then the rest of the components are 1 year. Some scooters have a 1-year warranty on the battery though. Winter Infinite says shipping exemption refers to a scenario where an unexpected event or issue that causes a delay or disruption in the normal delivery process of a package or shipment. Yeah, well, yeah, but what was it? Did the label come off? Did the box catch on fire? I don't know. Did it blow open in transit and get damaged? I really would just like to know. If FedEx would call me and tell me what's going on with the InMotion V14, that'd be great. But I can't even do that. I tried to call and ask about the shipping number or the tracking number, and they said, sorry, we can only get information to the shipper, which would be people in China. So, great. A lot of good that does me. Julian Marad says, I just upgraded from a GT to a GTR, and it's worth it. I don't feel the difference for the battery, especially for efficiency. I am going to agree with that sentiment. If you have a GT and you want to upgrade to a GTR, the Cabo, do it. Just like sell the GT Pro. It's a nice scooter, don't get me wrong. The GT Pro is a very nice scooter, but the GTR is better. If you want to be the fastest guy in your group of scooter riders, get the GTR. And the suspension is nicer too, much nicer. Notice in the GT Pro review video I did, I said, if you want to consider buying the GT Pro, here are the reasons. And then in the GTR video, I said, here's why I think you should upgrade to a GTR. There's a difference in my mindset there. Theo Frias says, any battery degradation using that charger? There will be a little bit if you're charging at insane amperage. This thing can charge up to 17 amps, and a good rule of thumb to make sure you're charging your battery at a safe speed is to take the amp hour rating of your battery and divide it by 2. So if, like in the GTR, there's a 30 amp hour battery. So if I divide that by 2, I get 15. And 15 amps would be the fastest I would want to charge that thing. That's called 0.5C charging. 1C charging would be charging at the same amps of your battery. Like a 30 amp charger on a 30 amp battery is 1C. 15 amp charger on a 30 amp battery, 30 amp hour battery is 0.5C. So you're not going to get much damage if you're charging at 0.5C. The only thing that might damage it is if you charge it to full using one of these fast chargers and then you leave it there for a long time. Like you just charge your scooter to full and then let it sit in the corner. Unless you get the charger enhancer. That's why these things are sold together. This thing can charge your battery up to 90% at a super fast speed, and then you get extra fast charging without damaging the battery. So yeah, if I'm charging a 15 amp hour scooter like a Kugu with this thing, well, you can't even charge a Kugu, the voltage is too high. But if I was charging a Kugu with this charger, which I could do, this goes from 0 to 110 volts, I think. Then you will damage the battery. If you fast charge it to full and let it sit there, you need to periodically balance the cells in your battery, and that just means charging it really slowly from dead up to full at a really slow rate, like 1 or 2 amps. That's why they include those stock chargers at such low amperage. But that will definitely help prolong the life of your battery. As you ride, like if you're charging a little bit, 20%, and then you go out and ride, and then you charge a little bit, and you go out and ride, charge a little bit, go out and ride, and you're not charging to full every time, there's hundreds of different cells in your battery pack, and some of the cells end up with more voltage than others, and they get all out of whack and out of sync and out of balance. And having that and then charging your scooter to full, that will damage your battery over time. But if you're charging them all really slowly and uniformly up to a full charge and making sure they all have the same voltage periodically, I think they recommend like once every 2 or 3 weeks, then your scooter battery will last a lot longer, like 2 or 3 times longer. Not to mention, if you have cells that are out of whack inside your battery pack, that's how battery fires start. Because the voltage might be getting read from the lower average of battery cells, and then there might be a cell in there that has more energy than the others. And when these cells are charged up to full, this one is like exploding full, and it will overheat and explode and cause all the other cells to explode too. So that's how battery fires start. But do cell balancing, charge at a really low rate up to full charge, or get one of these charger enhancers. Charge your battery up to 90%, and then you never have to worry about it at all, and your battery will last like 2 or 3 times longer. If you look at the scientific spec sheets for batteries, it says that I think there's like, I want to say 2.5 or 3 times longer if you don't charge to full every single time. But there's like official scientific testing that's done by LG and by Samsung about this. So it's not just speculation for me. N1N2 says, I think he's looking at the charger enhancer, but I don't know which. It's giving me many options. GX123, GX123, AGX16. So yeah, that's all the different adapters that I have in this little bag here. Or where's my charger adapter bag? Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. Derp. Yeah, so these are all the different adapters you can get. If you're not sure what your scooter has or what your scooter or unicycle uses, just go look up. You can measure the size of this thing, and then you can go look it up. These are aviation connectors, a lot of them anyways. And the most common size for scooters is GX163. That's this one right here. But a lot of unicycles will use tiny, weird, proprietary ones. Like this is the one for the InMotion RS. But the GTR has a proprietary port. The Kukirin has a proprietary port. And you can't buy aftermarket chargers for those, which is really frustrating. But if you buy the little charger, fast charger and charger enhancer from PidZoom, they'll make the adapter for you. They're in contact with a lot of the factories, and they can get the stuff for you secretly. So yeah, my recommendation, if you're wanting to buy this little smart charger thingy, you're going to want to measure the size of your charging port. Look up what the charging ports are, like what they do. They're called aviation connectors. And you can see if it's 3 pins or 2 pins, like if the first port is plus or minus and the third port has nothing. It's different for every scooter. But you got to figure it out before you can buy it, that's for sure. Or maybe you'll be able to email PidZoom and just tell them what scooter you have and they'll look it up for you. Let's see. What's the time limit? You should leave a full battery on a scooter. Let's say you charge it and then something comes up and you can't ride. Well, I would say like a couple days. I don't know. I wouldn't leave it charged fully and then sitting for a couple of weeks, that's for sure. Obviously, the sooner you use it, the better. But it's kind of akin to like, if you're charging up to full, that'd be like taking pre-workout. I saw this in a video I watched earlier today. And it'd be like if you took a pre-workout right before you went to bed. Like you could do it, but you wouldn't get good sleep. It's not healthy. I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before. I do it a lot where I charge a scooter up to full and then don't end up riding it for days at a time because I have a whole fleet to choose from. So sometimes I get home from a ride, plug my scooter under the stock charger and forget about it. It charges up to 100%, and then I go ride something else for the next week. But I'm using very slow chargers on mine, so the cells are balanced, but they don't like sitting at a full charge. That's the number one way to decrease the longevity of your battery. Hypercharging it up to a full charge and then leaving it there. Someone says that GoTrax GX3 looks really cool, especially the dual adjustable hydraulic spring shocks on the front and the back. Yep, adjustable spring shocks are nice, very legit, just like on the InMotion RS. And the Cabo's got one on the back now, the new GTR. I don't know how you say this. Kyrex Koopa? Kyrex Koopa? Kyrex. Yeah, I want to see Kyrex Koopa. Unbalanced cells can pass current backwards when the pack gets too low too. And that can cause an internal short. When you go to charge the battery, it can catch fire. That's news to me. I didn't know that. They can pass current backwards. Yeah, that's a fast way to blow your stuff up. How are you going to get max mileage out of your battery if you never fully charge it though? Well, you won't. If you don't fully charge your battery to 100%, you can charge it to 90% and then leave it using the charger enhancer. And then when you want to go out for a ride, pop it onto the charger and charge it to full before you leave. You can do that, but if you just charge it up to 90% and then leave your house, obviously you only have 90% battery when you leave, so you're not going to get max range. I wonder, Josh Posey says, I wonder if it's possible to retrofit the mono controller of the GTR into the GT. That would be sick. I don't think so. I think the connections to the throttle and the lights and everything are totally different. Jack Cassandra 65 says, I want a GTR so bad I can taste it, but I cannot afford the 4Gs, and I'm afraid I won't like the height issue. There's a height issue? Oh, you mean with the actual ground height of the deck? Well, they made the bars a little bit shorter to counter for that. It's the same height as the actual GT, like the handlebars to the actual ground, but you will like it when you're off-roading, I promise. You get that extra deck clearance. And if you can't afford the 4Gs, go looking around on Facebook Marketplace. Try and find a used one. They don't pop up often, but they do pop up. Pacific Northwest E-Ride says, do you recommend the Roadrunner Pro if you have stairs? No, definitely not. If you're going to go downstairs, you need something with beefy, nice, long travel suspension like a Sur-Ron or Talaria. The Roadrunner Pro is kind of clanky. There's no rebound on the front suspension, so it'll compress and then it'll go bong, 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 back to height every time. I had to upgrade the rear suspension on my Roadrunner Pro, and I still wouldn't take that downstairs. The awesome Gallop at $10.99 price appears to be a lot of bang for your buck if it is a reliable scooter. Honestly, I haven't looked into the awesome Gallop. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about that scooter. But the $1,000 price range is about as low as I would go without being worried about the quality of whatever it is I was buying. What's the best scooter under $1,000, says Theo Frias, on the market from a reputable brand? Speed being the highest priority. Well, you're not going to get anything fast for $1,000. I'll tell you that right now. I honestly don't know. If I were you and I were shopping for a scooter under $1,000, I'd be shopping for reliability. I'd probably get something like the Segway GT2. It goes like 21 or 22 miles an hour, and they're built like tanks. They had an issue with overheating when they first came out, but they changed the firmware, and now they don't overheat. Where can I get the charger enhancer, says Steve Young. Get it from PidZoom. They're not sponsoring this video, but they are the company we're talking about in the video. It's PidZoom, PidZoom.com. They sell the charger enhancer. They sell the ultra fast charger if you ride electric unicycles. And they sell the tire pressure monitoring system that we unboxed earlier in the video. And they're your best resource for adapters. Got a whole baggie of adapters here. I'm really excited to see what I got. It's like a little bag of candy. Little charge port plug. These are for going into the chargers. We got the InMotion RS plug. We got this weird plug. I think this is for the GTR, maybe? Another InMotion plug. Plug for scooters, just regular GX163s. Oh, maybe these are for the V14. I don't know what adapters the V14 needs, because I don't have it yet. It's not here. Thank you, FedEx. Oh, I've never needed this before. GX164? I don't even know what that goes to. Maybe that's what the InMotion V14 is for. So here's a good example of a GX163, but only 2 of the ports are used. See, there's metal and only 2 of them. A lot of scooters are like that too, where they have 3 pins, but only 2 of them are used. Whole bag of goodies. Just a whole bag of goodies. PID Zoom came through. I really screwed up when I made my first order from PID Zoom. I gave them the wrong zip code, and then my package got sent to a nearby city like 10 miles away, and I never got it. And USPS was no help. The tracking number just said delivered inside a secure mailbox, but they wouldn't tell me where, because the address I gave them wasn't an actual address. Like, you can't, it's not an address. So they just delivered it to a random place. But we got another order, and then PID Zoom sent that out for free, thank God. And now we got all the goodies. I'm so excited to use this Charge Smart charge enhancer. I'm going to make a full video on all these toys, but not now. Obviously, we're live. Heard the Nerd said, had to send my InMotion RS back after only 400 miles. My rear motor failed. And rear motor. I assume you mean rear controller? Then the new one failed the same day. Exchanged it for a GTR. That's weird. I thought the InMotion RS was going to be one of those scooters that had never had a failure. I do have a spare motor around here somewhere, though. You should have hit me up. I could have just given you my spare motor. I told support that my handlebar was wiggly and that I didn't think it went as fast as the yellow RS, and then they sent me a new motor. Doesn't make sense to me either. Theo Freya says, it seems like in the $1,000 to $1,500 range, the scooter market's very competitive. I see brands like Yume, Cabo, Nan, Robot, Mini Motors, Two-Wing, Kugo, etc. You're not wrong. And that didn't used to be the case 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, $2,000 was the threshold for nice scooters. But prices of lithium batteries are coming down now, and there's also so many other brands that there's a lot more demand. A lot more supply, I mean. So they're lowering prices. I need to go, you guys. I've got stuff to do today. If you have any burning questions, now would be the time to ask them. I want to thank PID Zoom again for sending me the tire pressure monitoring system. We got the charger enhancer here, and more importantly to me, the ultra fast charger. I still can't believe it goes up to 170 volts at 17 amps. That's a higher voltage than the outlet of your house, for people who live in the US anyways. Josh Hanlon says, do you have any plans to review the Apollo City Pro? I do not. I do not have any plans to review Apollos. Electric Scooter Guide has done some reviews on Apollos, though, so maybe go check those out. But take them with a grain of salt. Theo says, good stream, thanks. Krax Koopa says, I hope more scooters use prismatic life post cells, safer and more robust. That's true. I think we're going to start seeing prismatic cells a lot more once they come down. They drop down in price. They're so expensive right now. Julian says, what's the top speed you had on a scooter? I think the fastest I got was on the GTR downhill. I got up to 65. How come you don't have any Nami Burn E2 Max 40 amp hour in your fleet? Because they haven't sent me one. It's plain and simple, really. Fluid Freeride is the guys that carry those, and I don't think they send out demo scooters. And I've already got, my living room is literally full, so I don't have very much incentive to go buy a $3,500 scooter. Someone says, hey, are you still doing Saturday night rides? Yep, we do Saturday night rides every night, every Saturday night. 7 o'clock, Gasworks Park in Seattle. Be there or be square. The rides are getting really big now because we're getting nicer weather. Krax Koopa says, I live near Redmond. We should ride sometime. Hit me up on Instagram. DM me. We can set up a ride. That'd be fun. Did you review it back in the days? I did one comparison video with my, what was it? The Dualtron Storm and the Nami Bernie Max. Or not a Max. It was just a Nami Bernie when they first came out. And obviously the Bernie is a better scooter than that was. But I haven't done a full review or anything like that. I just rode one and was like, holy crap, these are nice. And obviously, when you go to the Seattle Saturday Night Ride, you're going to meet people with every scooter under the sun. And there are people there that have done little modifications to their Namis, and they let me ride them around and test them. And they're fun scooters. They're good. I haven't really heard of any quality issues on the Namis, except for the stems breaking on some, like last year. But they seem really well built. Lots of torque, too. Josh Hanlon says, you plan on selling any of those scooters? I go on the Saturday night rides every once in a while. DM me on Instagram at GingerOnWheels. Add me first, though. Anyway, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. The stream's been fun. We're running on an hour and 11 minutes now. So if you joined in, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the views. Looks like we got 29 likes on the stream. I guess that's pretty good. I'll leave this stream up for people to watch later, even though there's probably a lag on the audio and video. And hopefully on the next live stream I do, when I have the InMotion the InMotion V14 unicycle to unbox, hopefully by that time I'll have a better laptop and there won't be this weird delay thing going on. But anyway, adios, muchachos, muchachas. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.